back, and we're joined by Dallas Christian wide receiver / DB William Speedy Nettles. William, first off, congratulations on being named a finalist. Obviously,
Thank you.
worthy. As I'll pop up a graphic that we have for William, and thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
So let's kind of get into it. Over 1,900 total yards, over 1,400 yards receiving. You're averaging 25 yards per reception, over 200 yards rushing, 23 touchdowns. In special teams, you had 159 punt return yards. On the defensive side, 7 interceptions. You had 3 returned for a touchdown, which accumulated to probably over 100 yards of interception yards. Obviously, what comes first team, all district wide receiver and DB, but you also were first team, all state wide receiver and DB. Your numbers, they speak for themselves, and I guess I'll start there. The work that's being put in by you. How gratifying was it for you to have a season like that, to kind of validate what you've been putting in?
Yes, sir. It all started in the summer. Last year I wanted to contribute more. I wanted to get my production higher, and I just worked all summer. This is the moment I dreamed of, just working all summer on both sides of the field. So I can help my team get to that state championship again.
Yeah, which you did, and which you won. I mean, the run you guys went on. I don't have the numbers in front of me anymore, but the amount of points you guys were scoring, and the fact that the defense was basically giving up nothing. Coach talked about the preparation and belief that led to all that. If you look back on the season, can you just kind of reflect on how special it was for you, and especially for some of the guys that this was their first one, they weren't there last year?
Yes, sir. It was real special for me, since it's not my senior year or anything, but, I wanted to send those guys out with the win and the gratification of going back-to-back and get another ring. We always took pride in our defense, and that's what I take pride in the most, but I'll do anything to help my team win, get on the offense, special teams a little bit. I just want those guys to succeed how I succeed.
A lot of times the label captain, can go to a senior, and it's kind of a rite of passage. You come in and you've paid your dues, and now it's time for you to play a leadership role. But what did it mean to be voted by your peers your junior season to be captain?
Yes, sir. It showed that, I can step up anytime. I can be a leader. I can be vocally leader, show my leadership in both ways. Didn't really talk much as a sophomore or a junior. I just showed it by proving it on the field that I can get the job done, and so can you guys.
And Coach talked about, after the only loss, and you're coming back to practice, and you can come back to practice a couple of different ways, right? But he talked about how upbeat and positive you were, and obviously it was a learning moment for you, but just kind of that passion, that drive to just want to come back and be better. Where does that come from? Where do you feel like you get that motivation from?
Yes, sir. All my life, I was never a loser. I've never had a losing record. So sometimes I think, like, I know I'm not used to losing, but I know I can't show my team that. I can't show my team that it gets me down to be losing, gets me down, gets to me,
Right.
Like, it can't get to me because I'm a leader, and I have to show them that too. So I just didn't want them to feel like they can't count on me to come back or bounce back the next week.
I want to mention, because I was impressed by a tweet that you put out, and I felt like it just showed a lot of maturity, and you had a really good outlook on it, and I think a lot of athletes can take some notes from it. But, you're obviously excuse me, a player that is receiving some attention, rightfully so, from D1 schools, and you've got offers out there. But you wrote on Twitter, you said, I don't have a direct answer, and this is in regards to, what's worked for you in recruiting. But you said, I can tell you what's worked for you. And you said, I work hard, I stay consistent, I take care of my grades, I respect my coaches, I'm a leader by action, and I apply what you're taught. Um, that message, was a small tweet, but that's something that has to carry over onto the field. Is that a is that something that is built in through coaching and just watching those that came before you, or is that just something that, hey, this is the way it's got to be done and that's how I'm going to show people?
Yes, sir. I just wanted them to show, everybody's process is different. I wanted to imply to them that, I have the right, coaching, parents, all that. So it's just a blessing to have all those people next to me helping me, But at the same time, I wanted to show them that you can't look at somebody else's blessings, and either get jealous about it or anything. You have to stick to your course and work hard, and then you can achieve anything.
Yeah, control what you can control. Just keep focused on what you're trying to accomplish, and things will happen. Things will happen for you. When you kind of look back on the season, what are you most proud of?
Yes, sir. Mostly, first and foremost, I'm proud, to go back to back as a state champion. That comes first before anything, before the offers, before the first team all district, all state. I'm just glad I get to send my seniors out, as champions, and that also looks good on me too. So, just blessed.
You still got another year to go, but I've been asking the question, what do you hope, not even knowing that you were doing it, what do you hope that others have learned from you, and you've left your fingerprint on it with still another year? What are some goals, some things that you hope that others are taking notes from you so that they can be the best and help the team?
Yeah, I hope they see, no matter how much doubt you have in yourself, you at some point you're gonna have to overcome it. Everybody's process isn't the same. Mine wasn't the same as everybody else. I wanted to pave the way so they know that even with this private school stuff, I wanted to break the mold and let them know, like, your process isn't going to be different from anybody from public school or anything. You can do it. I can do it.
Yeah, well said. You won't. I was asking the question to the guys about because they're seniors. What will they miss about their high school career? So I'll switch it up and say, what will you miss about the group of seniors that's leaving?
Yeah, this is besides football. I'll miss, how welcoming they were to me, and I just want to bring that on to anybody else that's coming in our school. I miss their company. I'm going to miss them on the field, off the field, playing, laughing, joking around. And I'm going to miss them on the field because we all wanted the same thing. And I felt as if I can be like that with everybody else, I know everybody will succeed the way that I have.
Yeah, well said. This next question, this is the inaugural year for the Jaxon Smith-Njigba Award, and of course it goes to the Rockwall County Gameday Player of the Year. I think obviously it means a lot to me, and it's something that you care about, and it means a lot to you. And so in the future, when you're looking back years from now, you're like, oh, I was in that first class that was nominated for that award. Well, and I think people view the award a little bit different. But what does it mean to you right now, to be named a finalist, and what would it mean to you to have your name on that trophy in a couple weeks?
I want to show them that my hard work is paid off. I proved it to myself. I want to prove it to everybody else, and that, no matter what school you go to, private school, public school, anybody can do it. Anybody can get it done. Private school just means just as much as public school. You don't have to go to a big school to prove anything to anybody. Your process is different. Get it done.
Yeah, you just again control what you can control, and you wherever you play, you just try to take it to the next level, and hopefully others can follow. Right.
Yes,
let me ask you now a couple of questions Jaxon had sent in. So let me ask you about the best football game. It's a two-part question. The best football game you ever had personally, and the best football game you ever played in.
Let's see. I'd have to go to that one my sophomore year against Liberty Christian. I loved everything about that game. I didn't get in as much on offense, but just being around in that environment, even on the defensive side, it's just a blessing to be around everybody, fans, crowd, everything. I just couldn't get any better than that.
And then on a stats, just kind of a game that, man, that's one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah, had a lot of good games, but let's see. I'd either go to my first game against Bishop Dunn. I cracked it open. First game of the season. I had 3 touchdowns, and I ended up with a pick that game. And I would say that's one of my best games.
Yeah, I mean, those stick with you, but I know because you're a junior, you got another year. You're like, okay, how can I top that? So
Yes,
we'll be looking to see what you do next. What's your favorite home-cooked meal?
I'd go to one of my mom's probably famous breakfast dishes that she always cooks all the time. Got the scrambled eggs, the sausage, the grits. I like to do this little thing where I put the eggs on top of the grits and always slaps. And she usually throws in, main dish pancakes, waffles with it. So
there you go,
bacon
breakfast.
maybe. Enjoy it all the time.
Are you good with breakfast for dinner?
I am.
Oh, just give me some breakfast for dinner, and we're fine. We can do without all the other stuff. And I'm also I cannot remember if or when I've had grits. I don't know if I've ever had grits.
Yeah, they're good. They're good separately too, but I just like to do this little thing with the eggs, throw it on top of the grits.
I'm gonna trust you, and I'm gonna figure out a way. I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna name the dish after you, and hopefully the kids love it, and we can make that part of our routine. Lastly, do you find time between your time giving back, the team, all the working out, the grades? I mean, you close to a 4.0 GPA. Do you find time for a favorite show or movie that you have?
Yes, sir. I'd go to that Last Chance U series. I watch all of it. Football.
Yeah.
Both teams.
Good stuff.
Actually, all 3 teams. Watch basketball too. I love the show. It has a mix of football, life, and it's also, I find it funny. So there's no reason not for me to watch it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I want to touch too, kind of on the Dallas Christian part of it. I mean, just the small community it is, and how much fun is it to play in front of that home crowd and just be a part of the whole DC nation.
Yes, sir. I love it. I love it as a school. I love it as an athlete. Don't get no better than that. I have the support from everyone around the school and even my teammates. So I love playing for Dallas Christian.
Yeah, I've grown quite fond of it. It's always feel welcome, and I like being around there. So, hey, William, excuse me. I appreciate your time, and again, we'll vote on January 30th. We'll all meet back here on February 28th. We'll have a cool kind of gift package, to all the finalists, and obviously, what you've done. You would be a worthy candidate, and it'd be cool to see your name on there. So I wish you all the best and good luck to you. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Okay, that's gonna do it for us. We talked a lot about some Cowboys, and do you do NFL? Are you Cowboys? Are you a Cowboys fan?
No, sir.
You're not a
Cowboys
Well,
fan.
hey, listen. I mean, that's the one fault I found in you. I've finally found it, but it's not easy to be a Cowboy fan. It can be very stressful. So